Shabbat Shalom. It's wonderful to be back for another Shabbat here at UH, whether you're joining us here in person or, as I like to say, through the magic of the internet at home. And speaking of home, this Shabbat is our very first Shabbat at Home Friday, where we are having people who are hosting Shabbat dinners at their homes for other of our members and congregants, a group of about how many people would you say at each? 4 to 5, a handful of people to share in this wonderful Shabbat. I know some of you here this evening will be heading off to a Shabbat dinner as well as part of that Shabbat at home, and I believe there are people at home having Shabbat dinner right now, maybe even watching as well. And so, if you are interested in either hosting a Shabbat dinner or being hosted for a Shabbat dinner, please do reach out to us, or you can even go on our website and sign up there. Our next Shabbat at home is March 27th, the final Friday right at the end of March. And so we'll join together in celebrating Shabbat here in our spiritual home of United Hebrew, here in our beautiful sanctuary. And of course, we hope that everyone will enjoy a Shabbat experience at home as well. And as we begin this evening, I'm honored to invite up Eva Ashner and her family to help lead us in our Shabbat blessings. They can be found beginning with the candle blessing on page 120. So Eva, why don't you step to the side here? Here's this.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Amen.
And I invite everyone to please rise as we prepare for our Kiddush.
Okay. All right. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy. And because on it, God ceased from all work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, boreh peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כיוונו מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
And you may be seated. It does seem people like the Serbia a little bit better than the Manischewitz, so. It's for the birds. How many of you have heard that saying before? It's for the birds. This saying has a long history, but in general, if you haven't heard this or are unfamiliar with the idiom, it generally means that something is meaningless, pointless, or worthless, or in perhaps a cruder sense, that something is garbage or refuse, or perhaps a four-letter word I won't say. In other words, only fit for the birds. Now, if I were a bird, I'd be a little offended. Of course, I'm not, and I'm still a little offended. Not for the birds, but because the use of this idiom implies that whatever we're dismissing is too simple, lowly, or unimportant for us. It leads to internalizations of hubris and of separation. Yet, I would suggest that very little of our world, whether it's for the birds or not, is not also for us to consider, to engage with, to try, or to be open to. I'll give one example. Going outside. This is very easily something that some people, maybe especially some of our younger people, might say is for the birds. I mean, there's a lot to do inside. Watch the Olympics, play a video game, play a board game, read a book, have lunch with friends, or for you Shabbat at home folk, have dinner with people. All of these are wonderful and worthwhile things, but more and more I hear people preferring to stay indoors and avoid outside, especially, again, from our youth. There's a silly quote from The Big Bang Theory that embodies this mindset. As one character says, if outside is so good, why has mankind spent thousands of years trying to perfect inside? And I guess in some ways we do have to admit that ultimately, outside, nature, is quite literally for the birds. But not just the birds alone. In Jewish tradition, revelation, growth, and understanding is experienced almost exclusively in the wilderness, outside, in nature. In this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, Moses receives the commandments not in the camp, not amongst the Israelites, not even before the chiefs of the tribes. Rather, Moses must ascend a mountain to access the divine spirit. And this is not the only example. Adam and Eve are called by God while walking through the garden. Jacob wrestles with a divine being beside a flowing stream. Moses encounters the burning bush while looking for a sheep lost in the field. Abraham and Sarah are visited by angels while sitting outside their tent. Revelation, deep connection with the divine, happens in the wilderness, outside. And these are only some examples from Jewish tradition. Cross-culturally, moments of seeking or achieving wisdom, of receiving divine guidance and understanding occur overwhelmingly in nature. In the woods, in the mountains, in fields and caves, lost at sea, sitting under a tree, immersed in the desert, in the wilderness. Even today, psychiatrists and psychologists, doctors and mental health specialists, child development experts, and longevity educators all tout the benefits of spending time outdoors, especially in green and blue spaces, immersed in and encountering nature. The American Psychological Association points to studies that show spending time in nature reduces stress, restores and increases attention span, elevates cognitive performance, boosts well-being, reduces mental illness, promotes social connection, improves mood, and encourages greater contentment and happiness. Physically, studies also indicate that being outside in natural environments support and improve both immune and heart health, promote better sleep, stimulate physical activity, and may even increase one's lifespan. Being outside may be for the birds, but it is absolutely for us as well. And if you need an excuse to go outside, one of the best ways to increase our time spent outdoors is to pick up a hobby connected to the natural world. Gardening, I know we've got a gardener or two here. Hiking, I know we've got a hiker here as well. Camping, I know we've got campers too. Or this weekend in particular, may I suggest bird watching. Because this weekend, today through Monday, is the annual Great Backyard Bird Count, or the GBBC. Anyone heard of the GBBC? Okay, there's a few of you. I love that there's a few. Since 1998, people around the country and now the world spend 4 days every February going outside, in a park, in a forest, in your own backyard, watching, identifying, and counting birds. It's a partnership between the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, Birds Canada, and the National Audubon Society. And through the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, it is the largest participatory science or citizen science project in the world. Last year, nearly 650,000 people from 210 different countries or regions participated in the Great Backyard Bird Count, identifying nearly 8,000 different species of birds, or almost 3/4 of all the bird species on our planet. Amazing. And it's not difficult to participate. All you have to do is spend 15 minutes outside listening for and looking for birds. Then, if you want, submit what you heard and saw. And you don't have to be an expert birder or even a brand new bird watcher with no experience can participate. Just download the Merlin Bird ID app. I'll say it again, the Merlin Bird ID app. It's put out through the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and as you start identifying birds, especially this weekend, every bird you ID will automatically be added to the count. It's easy, fascinating, perhaps most of all fun, and I'll tell you, it is a great way to get outside and engage with nature. So, while this is absolutely for the birds, it's for us as well. Yes, it helps track bird populations around the world, giving insight into the effects of climate change and pollution at a local and large-scale levels. But more importantly, in my opinion at least, it connects us with nature and other people from across the human spectrum. It's an opportunity, an avenue for us to see the world through a more divine lens and appreciate the beauty and the life-enriching experience of encountering the miracles of creation. After all, as Job reminds us in our Tanakh, our Hebrew Bible, ask the beasts and they will tell you, ask the birds and they will teach you. So go outside this weekend, spend some time in nature, maybe even count the birds. For who knows what type of revelation we may encounter, not to mention the benefits to our own well-being. It may be for the birds, but it's for us as well. So happy counting, if you're so inclined, and most importantly, Shabbat Shalom. We welcome Shabbat this evening with the Chadodi, which can be found on page 138. We remain standing as we turn to page 146 for our call to worship.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Yai lai lai, yai la 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 la.
On page 148, we join together in the Hebrew of Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Bechochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch alenu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. And on page 151, we join together in the middle of the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated as we turn to page 154 and we read together in the English of Ve'ahavta. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. And we sing that song of freedom they sang as they came out of Egypt, Mi Chamocha, on page 158.
Ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי אמרו וענו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. יאללה לי, last time, make it good. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי.
On page 161, we read together a prayer of protection at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. On page 163, we are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We turn to page 164, and I invite you to rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Koneh HaKol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. Page 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated, and we turn in our prayer books to page 179. And on page 179, we come to a prayer for peace as we join together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. And we turn to prayers of community. First, a prayer not found in our prayer book, a prayer for the state of Israel written by our own Eva Ashner. Thank you, Adonai, for granting Israel the courage, the strength, and the power to defend her borders and her people. May the country continue to flourish. May Israel and we never give up Hatikva, the hope that the day will come when Israel will be at peace with her neighbors. And may Israel always exist as a homeland for the Jewish people. Amen.
Amen.
And we now turn our hearts, our thoughts, and prayers to those in need of healing. If you are thinking of someone who is in such need, be it a physical, emotional, or spiritual healing, I ask you at this time to please rise. And together we'll call their names aloud, sending their names into the heavens with our prayers. You may be seated. We take all of those names into our hearts and we ask that God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit as we join together on page 371, singing Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Misha Berach, Avoteinu, Mekor HaBracha, Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach, Imoteinu, Mekor HaBracha, La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with a refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And we take a moment for silent and personal prayer.
the rabbi would have handed me the microphone a couple bars earlier, I would have almost been on the mic singing that with her. Well, it wouldn't have been that bad, David. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, my name is David Kaiser, and I am the president of United Hebrew. Tomorrow at UH, boy, we've got a lot on this sheet here. We've got a full page, so we're going to get our money's worth tonight. Tomorrow at UH, Torah study is at 9 a.m. in the Spielberg Chapel and on Zoom. Shabbat morning service at 10 o'clock in the Millstone Sanctuary and on live stream. Musar and Mindfulness with Rabbi Rosenberg at 11:30 in the Spielberg Chapel. The theme is Savaluvant? Exactly what I said. Patience. That's how to do that. Upcoming events. Join us next Friday for a Disney-themed Shabbat at 6:30. Lots of surprises at the Disney Shabbat.
Maybe even a special presidential appearance. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if they need a donkey singing, or maybe they do. You can order your Mishloach Mano Purim gift bags by Monday, February 16th. That's just one thing for the Purim festivities that we have here. Lots going on, almost a month's worth of stuff in a week. Again, you can order your Purim gift bags by Monday, February 16th. A Hamantash and Bake, Thursday, February 26th at 6:30 in the Messing Auditorium. The Purim Spiel, Sunday, March 1st at 10:45 in the Millstone Sanctuary. The Purim Carnival at 11:30. Purim Social, Monday, March 2nd at 7 o'clock in the Messing Auditorium. The Megillah reading, the whole Megillah, we're going to do it all this year. Monday, March 2nd at 8 p.m. Thank you, as ever, paying attention out there. I heard some chuckling. I appreciate that. In the Millstone Sanctuary. Charlie Kramer. Charlie, many of us have seen him performing on Shabbat. Charlie will be a artist in residence the weekend of February 27th through March 1st. If you're interested in learning how to chant Torah, Cantor Richmond is offering an adult cantillation class on Thursdays, March 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th from 11:15 to 11:45 a.m. in the Millstone Sanctuary. And get your tickets for the UHU 2026 Gala and High Society annual event on Saturday, April 25th from 6:30 to 10:30. Early bird pricing available up to March 15th. RSVPs requested by April 15th. These events, and there are more, all these services, programs, and more can be found in our Sunday e-blast, our digital bulletin, and our congregational calendar, and on our website. Thank you to our tech team for making it possible for all of us to be together virtually tonight. Please check our website or call the office for gift shop hours. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, David. And we turn now in our prayer books to page 586. And if you are able, I ask you please to rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. and we turn to page 596. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. This Shabbat, the heartfelt condolences of our congregation go out to the families of Muriel Perlberg and Flora Schwartz. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, for Edmund Ed Banashek, Vicky Fenster, Elizabeth H. Mayer, Beverly Popkin, Lynn Crane Schneider, and Rebecca Sr. This week, this Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeits and we lovingly remember Kurt Ashner, Fred C. Ashner, Ray Ruth Gigi Bankendorf, Samuel B. Barron, Dina Berger, Rose Y. Biederman, Jack L. Binder, Frida Blank, Jack Harris Breimer, Betty Buffin, Davis W. Canis, Molly Cohen, Saul H. Engel, Mildred R. Feldman, Joseph Felsen, Frank Fierman, Sam Finbloom, Abraham Ginsberg, Goldie Goldberg, Charles S. Goldberg, Robert Goldman, Stephen A. Green, Sophie Greenwald, George Gus Grossman, John Grossman, Abraham H. Grossman, Marcus Hafner, Morris P. Harris, Jean Heller, Florence Hyatt, David S. Hyman, Lionel J. Kaiser, Bertha M. Klein, Sanford A. Kravitz, Philip R. Kravitz, David Laterman, Stanley Laterman, Delphine Lumstein, Ida Magidson, Dr. Abraham A. Margulis, Nathalia Latz Meyer, Mayor D. Mitchell, Mark Mitgang, Harry S. Mosinger, Bessie Moss, David Moulton, Lori Newmark, Mary Ann Millstone Pappas, Maury E. Reichman, Louis K. Romansky, Harold Rosenberg, Nat E. Rosenblum, Marion Shamist, Benjamin Schwartz, Siebert Schwartz, Dorothy Shanvit, Marlene Sherman, Ann Schipper, Sheldon Solomon, Annie Stemyson, Bernard Suskin, Dorothy S. Tamarkin, Samuel Tischler, Jacob Urbach, Norma Ruth Weintraub, Ida Wexler, Sarah Willick, and Bernadine Winter. If one of these loved ones is yours, I invite you to rise so that we may recognize the memory of your loved one. I now invite everyone to rise and stand with our mourners. Zichronam livracha. May all of the memories of our loved ones be a blessing as we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yit gadal ve'yit kadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam bolmei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudashah barichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. And as David announced that next week is Disney Shabbat, and then Purim comes soon, and so on and so on, that lets us know that the month of Adar is coming. The month of Adar will come in this upcoming week, and a blessing for Rosh Chodesh Adar. May we be the poppy seed in each other's hamantashen this year. May the world be sweet to the taste, soft to the touch, and moonlight to the eyes, and redemption to the soul. May we design contests in which we all win. May we design beauty contests to which each moment is a contender. May we all be blessed with cousins who have our backs and who would fast on our account. May we recognize when we are Esther, when we are Mordecai, and when we are Achashverosh. May we keep remembering to forget to remember. May we each and may all of us appear at the banquet of our lives wearing the crown of our royalty and whatever else we choose. Mishenichnas Adar marbim besimcha. When the month of Adar enters, we are supposed to be joyous. It is a month of joy, and we end with those words.
Let's have some fun.
Mishe, 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 Bichnas Adar. Mishe, 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 Bichnas Adar. Oh, Mishe nichnas Adar, marbin vesimcha. Mishe nichnas Adar, marbin vesimcha. Mishe, 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 nichnas Adar. Mishe, 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 nichnas Adar. Oh, Mishe nichnas Adar, marbin vesimcha. Mishe nichnas Adar, marbin vesimcha.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.